Maybe you've never said it out loud, but deep down, you feel it. There's something different about you. A kind of perception that can't be explained by logic. It's as if something inside you is always on alert, always feeling more than others do. And the more you try to ignore it, the stronger it becomes. For a long time, you may have thought you were just too sensitive, too intense, maybe even strange. You may have tried to fit in, to hide, to pretend you didn't see or feel. But you couldn't. Because what you carry is not excess, it's not exaggeration, it's a gift. And that gift has a name. It's what many call the blue power. The blue power is a silent but real spiritual energy. It doesn't appear as a spectacle, nor does it need a stage. It's an anointing that comes from God and rests upon those who have been set apart for something greater. This power manifests through your sensitivity, your discernment, your presence that changes the atmosphere effortlessly. Maybe you've never heard that name before, but you've already experienced its effects. You can feel when something is wrong, even without an explanation. You perceive the pain in people's eyes even when they smile. Your presence draws some and distances others. That's not a coincidence. It's confirmation that there's something in you that comes from above. My name is George, and if this makes sense to you, subscribe to the channel right now. Here you'll find direction, clarity, and words that speak directly to your soul. Turn on the notification bell and share this video with other chosen ones. You are not alone on this journey. Heaven is reminding you who you are and where your strength comes from. Not everyone understands, but some do. They know there's something different pulsing within since early on. Something that can't be explained with ordinary words. While everyone else seemed comfortable in the world, you felt that something was out of place. Even surrounded by people, there was an inner silence calling for something greater. That silence isn't emptiness. It's a calling. You tried to live like others, trying to fit into places that weren't made for you. You smiled when you didn't want to smile, spoke when you only wanted to be silent. But deep down, you knew. You knew you were drifting away from something essential, from a truth that always called you closer. The discomfort in the soul is the first sign that there's a greater purpose. While many get distracted by what's shallow, you seek what's real. You can't ignore the pain of others, nor pretend everything's fine when you know it's not. Your heart reacts to what eyes can't see, and no matter how much you try to disconnect, you always return to that invisible place where everything begins, the spirit. This calling doesn't impose itself. It doesn't scream, but it never stays silent. It pulls you in the most unexpected moments, reminds you in quiet days, stirs you when you try to pretend you've forgotten. You've tried to walk away, but you're always brought back, because the calling doesn't depend on your will. It responds to your origin. When God sets someone apart, He marks them. And those who are marked can feel it. They feel it when they're in the wrong place, with the wrong people, doing things that don't align with their essence. And the more they try to adapt, the more exhausted they become. Because your soul wasn't made to hide. It was created to be a channel. And a channel doesn't close. If you're reading this, it's not because you were curious. It's because something within you is resurfacing. The calling that was always dormant is now awakening with greater clarity. And no matter how long you've been away, God never stopped reminding you. And now, finally, you're hearing with your heart what your soul already knew. What you feel is not exaggeration, it's perception. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it's a tool. And this tool has a spiritual name, the blue power. It doesn't come to those who seek the spotlight, nor does it manifest where there is pride. The blue power reveals itself in those who have been set apart to perceive what no one else sees, to feel what no one else feels, and to sustain what few can endure. You have always sensed the environment before understanding why. Before words, you already knew whether there was truth or falsehood. You've noticed that certain people feel uncomfortable around you, even without you saying a word, and others come close seeking refuge, as if your presence brought clarity. That's not coincidence. It's the blue power manifesting. This power isn't learned nor earned through personal effort. It's born with the person, it grows with obedience, and it matures through pain. The deeper your surrender, the sharper your perception. You don't need to seek recognition, because the blue power doesn't reveal itself through loud words, but through attitudes aligned with heaven. It speaks for itself. The blue power transforms environments through presence. It's not about being seen, it's about being felt. When you arrive, the atmosphere changes. The words change, the looks change. And you've noticed this, not out of vanity, but out of awareness. Because when a soul is connected to the heavens, it influences what's around it. Not by force, but by essence. Many times you've doubted this. You thought it was just emotion, that maybe you were imagining too much. But the signs keep repeating, and now you're starting to remember that it's always been within you. What you once called too much sensitivity was actually the power of discernment. What you thought was emotional intensity was your spirit sensing truths that the world tries to hide. The blue power is silent, but never weak. It makes no noise, yet carries authority. It doesn't impose itself, but it transforms. And it only flows through those who remain pure, even after being wounded. That's why your journey has been difficult. That's why so many people haven't understood you. Because what rests upon you is not ordinary. It's spiritual, and now it's awakening. From a very young age, you already perceived the world differently. While others played or got distracted, you observed. While others spoke just to speak, you stayed silent. It was as if your inner self were always alert, picking up on something unspoken. You didn't understand it, but you felt it. And that feeling was your first sign. When you enter an environment, you know whether you should stay or leave. Even if everything looks normal on the outside, something within you says, "Not here." And when you listen to that signal, everything changes. Your body reacts. Your heart feels heavy. Your mind closes off. That invisible alarm isn't fear, it's discernment. It's your spiritual sensitivity responding to what's invisible. You also sense when someone is lying. Even if the person smiles, uses kind words, or looks calm, you know something is off. It's as if your spirit detects what the eyes cannot see. And that's not judgment. It's perception. The blue power gives you this ability so that you don't get lost in illusions. People open up to you without knowing why. Sometimes within minutes of conversation, someone shares secrets they've never told anyone. And you listen. You don't judge. You embrace. Even without realizing it, you become a safe space for these people. That happens because your presence conveys peace. And peace reveals where the spirit is present. You attract wounded, confused, overburdened people. They draw near as if you had a key that could unlock something within them. And in truth, you do. Even without knowing all the details, your intuition points straight to the root of the problem. What others see as superficial is clear to you. You don't just see what's on the outside, you see what's hidden within. You can feel the atmosphere change when someone enters a room. Sometimes the environment was light, but suddenly everything feels heavy. You don't know what happened, but you feel it. That kind of perception is common for those who carry the blue power. God allows you to feel, not to suffer, but to protect. This gift is meant to guide you and those around you. Lies bother you. Half-truths hurt you. Unresolved situations distract you. While others ignore, you can't pretend. What's out of order unsettles you. You don't need to see with your eyes. Your soul feels it. Your spirit reacts. The blue power is like an antenna. It picks up what's misaligned and pushes you to bring it back into harmony. You don't need to be a leader to influence, nor speak loudly to be heard. Your presence speaks before your words. When you take a stand, the atmosphere listens. And even those who don't like you still hear you. That's not charisma or social skill. It's spiritual authority. And it doesn't impose itself, it simply is. You don't need to prove anything, you just need to be. When you pray, things happen. Sometimes you don't even speak out loud. You just think desire, intercede silently. And soon something moves. That spiritual quickness is a sign. God hears you faster because you are aligned. It's not a privilege. It's a purpose. He uses you as a channel to reach other people. And the purer the channel, the freer the flow. These signs aren't always visible to others, but they are clear to those who live them. And now that you know what this is called, the blue power, you can no longer ignore it. God is awakening you, not to confuse you, but to position you. Because what you feel, what you see, what you carry, is real. And now it's time to use it. Why you were so hurt. One of the most silent questions of the chosen ones is, why so much pain? Why does it seem that life weighs heavier on the sensitive ones? Why so many losses, disappointments, betrayals? Why so much war in the soul? The answer isn't simple, but it's clear. Those who carry something precious are the first to be attacked. You did not suffer because you were weak. You suffered because you were a target. Your light bothered others from early on. Your pure gaze exposed lies. Your presence revealed what was hidden. And often, those who were confronted didn't know how to deal with it. Instead of recognizing it, they attacked. Instead of moving closer, they hurt you. Your pain was not a punishment. It was a reaction to your light. People who should have loved you hurt you. Environments that should have welcomed you rejected you. Moments that should have brought peace became burdens. And all of that left marks. But no mark was in vain. Every scar is a key. Every fall is a step. Every tear is a seed. And what seemed like loss was actually preparing you. The blue power is activated through pain. Not because God wants you to suffer, but because pain purifies. It refines sensitivity. It makes you look within. It teaches you to listen to what the world ignores. And above all, it connects you to heaven in a way that only those who have been broken can understand. Your pain taught you how to truly feel. You wouldn't be who you are if you hadn't lived what you've lived. Your compassion comes from what you've felt. Your wisdom was born from silence. Your discernment surfaced in the midst of loss. People try to teach through theory, but you teach through experience. And that experience carries more power than any argument. You speak with authority because you have already walked through the valley. The enemy tried to destroy you before your time because he saw what you didn't yet see. He knew what was being formed. He knew what you carried. And he tried to stop you through rejection, shame, abandonment. Tried to make you give up on yourself. But he failed. Because what God plants, hell cannot uproot. Even on the days when you had no strength, something held you up. Even in the moments when you thought about giving up, something pushed you to keep going. And now you understand it wasn't you. It was the blue power in action. It was the presence of God holding your soul. It was living proof that your mission still stood firm. The pain you've lived does not define who you are. It only revealed how strong you are. And not a strength of appearances, but a quiet strength. The kind that keeps going when everything falls apart. The kind that doesn't need to be seen, yet sustains. The kind that comes from above, from the secret place from the connection the world doesn't understand but heaven honors. Now you look back and see, everything was necessary. Even what hurt shaped you. Even what pushed you away brought you closer to God. And now you are more prepared than ever, because someone who has been hurt but never lost faith carries an authority that no school can teach. And it's that authority heaven wants to use. Not everyone sees it, but the chosen ones live under a silent war, a battle that doesn't happen in the physical realm, but in the invisible one. While others walk in peace, you feel the heaviness in the atmosphere. While others sleep soundly, you face restless nights, intense thoughts, and weights that have no natural explanation. This isn't imbalance, it's spiritual warfare. You've probably asked yourself why everything seems harder for you, why doors take longer to open, why certain people attack you without reason, why there's a constant sense of resistance in the air. The answer lies in what you carry. You are a threat to what is hidden. Your light disturbs what dwells in darkness. The enemy doesn't waste time attacking those who pose no danger. He focuses on those who carry something capable of setting others free, those who have spiritual authority. And if you've been facing constant battles, repetitive cycles, disguised persecutions, know this: it's a sign that your presence interferes with the enemy's plans. You're not a target by chance. You're a target because you carry purpose. This war isn't always external. Many times, it happens within you. Confused thoughts, a sense of fatigue, baseless insecurity, the sudden urge to give up. All of these are invisible arrows. Hell tries to silence you before you rise. It tries to paralyze you before you activate what was entrusted to you. But it won't succeed. You've noticed, haven't you, that when you enter certain places, the atmosphere changes. People change their tone of voice, avoid eye contact, become uneasy. That happens because your presence carries light. And when light enters, it reveals. It doesn't need to accuse. It doesn't need to speak. It simply shows. And those who live in darkness feel exposed. The blue power reveals effortlessly. That's why you've been tested so many times. That's why you face betrayal, isolation, and rejection. Because this invisible war tries to use people, words, and circumstances to wound you. But what it doesn't know is that every wound refined you. Every pain deepened you. Every attack only confirmed the worth of your mission. And whoever goes through all that and keeps going is unbreakable. You're not alone. Every chosen one faces invisible wars. They are battles few understand, but they are real. But now you no longer have to fight in the dark. Now you know the reason. Now you understand that it's not bad luck, not drama, not weakness. It's heaven allowing you to mature, so you can sustain the anointing you carry. Your strength doesn't come from the arm's power. It comes from the power of the Spirit. Even when your mind wants to quit, something inside you insists on continuing. Even when everything seems to go wrong, your soul stays firm. That's the blue power in action. It doesn't deliver you from the war, it sustains you through it. And that's more powerful than it seems. A time will come when this war will turn into authority. What today tries to stop you will become the foundation of your message. What today wounds you will be used to heal others. And what today consumes you in silence will become visible strength. Because in the kingdom, no one is raised without passing through the fire. And the fire burns, but it also purifies. The isolation that prepares. The isolation of a chosen one is not always a choice. Many times it simply happens. People drift away, invitations disappear, relationships grow cold, and you find yourself increasingly alone. At first it hurts. It feels like rejection. It feels like punishment. But in time you realize this distancing is heaven's strategy. What you carry cannot be forged amidst distraction. God separates before he reveals. He silences before he raises. And many times, isolation is the necessary process to refine your hearing. In the noise, it's hard to discern. In the rush, it's hard to perceive. But in the silence, you hear what you once ignored. You see what once went unnoticed. Your vision becomes clear. Your soul aligns. While the world values noise, God values the secret place. It's in the secret where the blue power is strengthened. When you pray in silence, when you cry in silence, when you remain in silence, there, heaven works. Isolation creates roots. And without deep roots, there is no support. God didn't hide you out of disdain, but out of care. He was protecting what is rare. You've probably noticed that when you're around too many people, your energy gets drained. That certain environments sap you, that some people drain you. That happens because your vibration is high, and not everyone can walk in that frequency. Isolation filters. It removes what weighs you down and preserves what adds value. It cuts ties that delay you and protects bonds that build you. Many times you tried to force connection. You tried to stay where you no longer fit, but your soul felt it. It felt that place no longer fed you. It felt that conversation was draining you. And even through the pain, you began to retreat. That's not weakness. That's spiritual maturity. The blue power recognizes when an environment no longer sustains the purpose. In isolation, God shows you who you are. He allows you to face your wounds, your doubts, your fears. But he also shows you your strength, your clarity, your identity. It's in that place that healing words are born. It's in that silence that powerful revelations emerge. The blue power moves more freely when you disconnect from the excess. Not everyone will understand this process. Some will think you withdrew out of pride. Others will say you isolated yourself out of weakness. But it doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what heaven is doing, and he is preparing you. There comes a moment in the journey of the chosen when it can no longer be ignored. Everything that has been felt, perceived, and experienced up to this point begins to make sense. The isolation, the attacks, the pain, and the signs were not random. They were preparation. Now what was dormant needs to be activated. The blue power can no longer remain contained within you. This activation doesn't happen with shouting, nor does it require external ceremonies. It begins in the silence of a decision. The moment you choose to accept who you are, without hiding, without shame. The power that comes from God doesn't need a stage, but it does need surrender. Heaven doesn't force, but invites. And when you say yes, everything begins to change. To activate the blue power is to embrace the mission. It's to say to the world, I know who I am. I know what I carry, and I am ready to live it fully. It's to stop asking for permission to be sensitive. It's to no longer hide the discernment that guides you. It's to stop doubting the signs the Spirit gives you. It's to align mind, soul, and purpose. From that activation onward, your presence intensifies. Wherever you go, the atmosphere changes. Your voice carries more firmness. Your gaze conveys more clarity. You don't speak to impress, but to direct. You don't show up to please, but to align. This isn't about arrogance, it's about authority. And that authority comes from heaven, not from you. When you activate what you carry, you also attract more resistance. But this time, you won't be caught off guard. Now you understand the spiritual game. You know that light attracts shadows, that truth unsettles those who live in lies. And even so, you remain steadfast, because your mission is greater than fear. Your calling is stronger than discomfort. You start to see fruit. The people around you change without you having to say a word. Situations unfold effortlessly. What once seemed blocked begins to flow. That's the blue power in action. When activated, it not only guides you, it aligns everything around you. And everything that once seemed chaotic begins to take on meaning, direction, and peace. This activation also brings responsibility. Now you carry visible light, and light by nature reveals. You will see more, feel more, discern more. Not everything will be light or easy. Some truths will hurt, some decisions will be hard, but that's exactly what makes you an answer. Because the world doesn't need more distractions. It needs guides connected to the Most High. Be faithful to what you carry. Don't trivialize it. Don't negotiate your essence to please others. You weren't called to follow spiritual trends, but to manifest the presence of God. The blue power isn't a decoration. It's a spiritual weapon, a tool for healing, clarity, and awakening. And now is the time to use it with wisdom and humility. You are no longer lost. You have been positioned. Everything you have lived until now was leading to this moment, the activation of what has always existed within you. The world may not understand. Some will mock. Others will walk away. But that no longer shakes you, because now you know you were set apart, trained, and strengthened for this time. Heaven is counting on you. If this message spoke to your soul, write in the comments, "I activate the blue power I carry. I am ready to fulfill my mission." Share this video with other chosen ones. Let's awaken those who are still sleeping. May the light advance, may the purpose manifest, and may heaven be revealed through us. Until the next awakening.